tell you like how does hemoglobin like in red blood cells it goes like hemoglobin like diffuse from alveoli region, and after that how does it go to our lungs and our heart, and it gets like the blood gets supplied to complete body parts. And what foods are important like for increasing hemoglobin, because the deficiency in hemoglobin it causes like anemia, fatigue, will be trouble in breathing. Hemoglobin is like a red blood cell. What it does is that carries oxygen from lungs to the rest of our body. It is a protein that carries oxygen. That is there in it. It gets a bright red in color as soon as it picks up like the oxygen in our lungs. It travels through our body. When travels through our body, it gives oxygen to rest of our body. Red cell, the hemoglobin lives for 4 months. Every day, the body makes like new red blood cells so that it can replace it when the red blood cell that is like already gone through the body that dies. Hemoglobin levels can lead to like fatigue of that person, like he'll get like dizzy and he'll fall down and stuff, and it can lead to anemia in him, and it can also lead to like breathing problems. Carbon dioxide that's present in our tissues, that back to lungs, that carbon dioxide that is there, it's like which is metabolized like from all the chemical reactions that have been occurred. After that, the carbon dioxide that is produced, it returns it tissues to our lungs. Hemoglobin is responsible for red color of our red blood cells. It's also responsible to maintain the shape. Red blood cells are like naturally like a donut kind of thing, but they don't have a hole in them. It's naturally round with a depression formed at the center, uh, but it's like a donut, but it doesn't have a hole. Oxygen is like diffused from air to moist cells, dry cells that are present. Cells are epithelial cells that are like of the respiratory system's respiratory tubules. So they secrete mucus, and then like they moist the air entering the lungs. They moist the air entering the lungs. It ensures that the oxygen and carbon dioxide that are there are diffused. It happens across the alveoli, that is between the alveoli and the red blood cell in the capillaries. Gaseous exchange happens between the capillaries and the red blood cell. Alveolar walls that are present, the oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange occurs. First step, the carbon dioxide that is present in the red blood cell diffuses from there to the alveolar region of the lung, and after that, oxygen diffuses from air into the lungs. Once in the epithelial cells, in the moist cells that are there, has just begun. From here, the oxygen is carried towards the body. Here in circulatory system, it takes 3 years for the oxygen to diffuse to toe if it happens through diffusion. Oxygen moves within the protein like a piggyback, like someone is carrying it. Like the hemoglobin is like the piggy, and on its back there is like our oxygen. Get it? Diagram. So the hemoglobin molecules like they have iron, and that iron like binds to that oxygen, binds only in like a reversible way, so that it can like get separated when it reaches the tissues. Hemoglobin is like produced in large scale, and red blood cell like gives them the ability to like travel around them like the color red. Oxygen binds to hemoglobin within these cells as they travel to the capillaries surrounding the alveoli of the lungs. Blood cells, the oxygen that has like the hemoglobin, what it does is to help all the chemical reactions that are occurring in the body, different locations in the body, two alpha chains and two beta chains. Two sets of these chains, like two alpha chains and two beta chains, both of them have a heme thing group, and they also have like a central iron atom. What the central iron atom does is it like binds up the oxygen with it. When molecules, what they do is they act like oxygen sponges. like they soak up the oxygen within the red blood cells, and they cause them to diffuse, like move from like a higher concentration to the lower concentration in the blood plasma. Component in the blood has a blood plasma. Oxygen level that occurs in our lungs is being supplied. Most of the hemoglobin that's there only loads the oxygen atoms. When the that hemoglobin with the oxygen reaches to the tissues, it gives up the bond that's present between the hemoglobin and oxygen, and the oxygen is delivered to the tissues. In here, what happens is uh, carbon dioxide is present in the tissues. It causes the hemoglobin to get like a different shape that gives up the oxygen easily, and this speeds up the like removal of oxygen from the hemoglobin in the tissues, that this chemical reaction is occurring, and then the carbon dioxide is like generated. Then in the second step, from lungs through the pulmonary vein, the oxygen is being delivered to heart, and from the heart it's being delivered to the tissue. The oxygen rich blood is like carried by the heart to the lungs to the tissue. And after that, what happens is, from red blood cells the oxygen moves towards the tissues as the oxygen level is low in the tissues, and the carbon dioxide level as it's lower in the red blood cells. um, what happens is, from the tissue it goes to the red blood cells. Something known as diffusion is happening, right? Because there is lower concentration of oxygen within the tissue. So from the higher concentration of red blood cells where oxygen is present, it's coming to the lower concentration, and there is like lower concentration of carbon dioxide in the red blood cells. So uh, from the tissues where there is a higher concentration, the carbon dioxide is going to the place where there is lower concentration. Movement of higher concentration to lower concentration is diffusion. So here oxygen and carbon dioxide diffusion is occurring. Next step, what happens is the CO2 is converted to H2CO3, carbonic anhydrase. Dissociates H minus and HCO3 through the process of chloride shift. HCO3 minus goes out of RBC. Chloride shift is exchange of HCO3 and chloride across the membrane. Chloride shift happens when the blood goes to the heart from the tissues, and again it goes to the lungs, and again it goes to the red blood cells, and after that the same what happened in before happens again, and after that the cycle is again repeated, like from the red blood cells to the heart to the lungs, and all this cycle keeps on repeating. Of carbonic anhydrase happens again and again from the alveolar region to the red blood cells, and the oxygen and carbon dioxide diffusion and stuff, again it keeps on repeating, the cycle keeps on repeating. One red blood cell, there are almost 280 hemoglobin. Intracellular fluid, ICF, or cytoplasmic matrix. It's the liquid that found inside cystole. Four globins associated with iron atoms, heme groups, iron atoms, and they are bound to four oxygen molecules. Carbon dioxide binds with globin molecules, and oxygen only binds with iron. Hemoglobin, okay, in one red blood cell there are 280 million hemoglobin, and one of the heme group can bind with like four oxygen molecules. So 280 million hemoglobins that are there in a red blood cell, how many oxygens can they bind with? 280 into 4O2 by 1, almost 1120 billion oxygen molecules a red blood cell can bind with. Oxygen is picked up by proteins, and the other one, the carbon dioxide by amino acids, binds covalent by globin molecules. So heme is a coenzyme, an organic coenzyme, an organic thing that binds with an enzyme while the catalysis of the reaction. So like while the reaction is happening, it helps it just like in carrying it on. Apply C34, H32, Fe, 34 carbons, 32 hydrogens, enzymes, cofactors and carbon hydrogen atoms in center of it. Ion that is there, that is bound by 4 central nitrogens. Ion that is there is in +2 oxidation state. Hemoglobin has 4 hemes, right? So to that 4 hemes, 4 oxygens can be bound. If 4 oxygens can be bound to the 4 hemes in one hemoglobin molecule, then one hemoglobin can get 4 oxygens to it. The amount of red blood cells that are like present so that they can get in more hydrogens, just like they are getting more CO2s and they are getting amino acids and they are getting synthesized. We can increase the amount of red blood cells that are present. Then with the action of growth factor that is known as erythropoietin, EPO. Erythropoietin is produced in kidney cells. There are cells in kidneys that have like more oxygen sensors. When there is low oxygen, negative feedback in it will tell to make more RBCs. Low erythropoietin in the bone marrow triggers erythropoiesis. Produce more red blood cells. To make erythropoietin, we need an important cofactor that is known as iron, which is like limiting heme from binding to oxygen and doing all the stuff. Hemoglobin, and we need amino acids and vitamin B12. Vitamins help in cell division, so we need to get enough of them from our diet. Part is of hemoglobin, so iron goes from lungs to the body. These foods are added into our diet, then in 1 to 2 days the amount of hemoglobin that's produced will be increased. When the limit of hemoglobin, that minimum requirement we need to have is 14 to 18 milligram, and for women it's 12 to 16 milligram. These foods are eggs. Eggs almost have like 1.1 milligram per 100 grams, and spinach almost has like 4 milligram per 100 grams. Beans almost have like 15.7 milligram per 100 grams, and also lentils too. And we can add raisins and lean meat. Chicken almost has like 0.7 milligram in 100 grams, and liver almost has like 9 milligram per 100 grams, and beef almost has like 2.1 milligram per 85 grams. Beetroot has like 0.8 milligrams per 100 grams, and seafood, prawn has like 3 milligrams per 100 grams. Salmon has like 1.7 milligrams per 100 grams. Fish, high in iron. If that person has anemia or any other reason, drop in blood count and blood donation, then these foods need to be like added into it. And vitamin B6, B7, B12, what they do is help carry oxygen to all parts of the body. Fish has like B12, and when it's cooked, it has like 10.9 microgram of B12 out of 100 grams of fish that's cooked. And in nuts there is like folic acid, niacin, B6 and B12. And in cereal there is like 440 gram folic acid, 1.8 mg vitamin B6, 6.8 microgram of B12. And in peas there is like B1, B2, B3, B6. And in banana there is B6 and B12. And in carrots there is beta carotene, B6. And we can also add like juice, we can add grape juice, and apple has like medium apple has like 0.31 milligram of hemoglobin, that's rich source of iron. And pomegranate juice has like calcium and iron and protein, carb and increased hemoglobin, and 0.3 mg in per 100 grams. To do complete blood count test to know hemoglobin levels. It's also known as CBC test. For men, if it's less than 14, then it's anemia or iron deficiency, and they can have fatigue and stuff problems and breathing trouble. For women, if it's less than 10, then it's a problem. We can even add like broccoli that has like 2.7 milligrams per 100 grams iron, and it has vitamin A and vitamin C and magnesium. And beetroot has like almost iron and vitamin C, 0.8 milligram per 100 grams. And potato has like vitamin C, iron, 3.2 milligrams in one big potato. And it has like watermelon, and in watermelon rich iron helps in absorption of uh, the iron, and it translates it better the hemoglobin levels, and iron content in it is 0.4 milligram in cup of watermelon. And I want to tell you guys like another diet plan that I've shared to a person in Hyderabad. Like before I was in Hyderabad, right now I'm in Karnataka. So that time I used to roam for Mission India Fit and stuff. After I got like good results, and my mom and dad, they started got to a healthy weight and stuff. You can like check my older posts, older videos, and you'll get to know about the older things and stuff in my Insta and my YouTube. In Jan 12th 2020, what happened was I went to like my older school, like my St. Michael school, and to give a seminar like about Mission India Fit, about what it is and how our country is suffering from health problems and how nutrition can help with it, uh, and all that. And three times like they took my number. They said like they'll contact me, uh, and after that if they're interested, they said that they'll like call me and stuff. And I even went to 10 schools like that. I went to Kendriya Vidyalaya, I went to St. Paul's, and I went to like CAL Public Garden, Gautam Model School, Vijaya High School. uh, Everywhere I went, but they didn't like allow me to like give a seminar. In Public Garden, I used to like roam to every single person that's there, and I used to tell them, this is my progress, this is my channel and stuff, and I'm working towards this, and I'm doing so much of research. Support my content, and if you'll get the notes and you'll get the diet and stuff. Um, they said in Kendriya Vidyalaya that it's not like fixed. Maybe next week we'll allow it. But after that I had my pre-finals. After that I had my finals, and after that COVID came, and you guys know the rest of the story. Yeah. But I roamed to tell about it in Bolaram Public Garden, and I made a diet plan for a kid. Like he just wanted to lose weight. He was overweight that time, and after that I went to like an uncle. That uncle was like in a sweet shop. Like that time I used to roam to like every single person, whoever I used to see, I used to go and tell that guy. So that time I went to like a sweet shop, and in that sweet shop I met an uncle that's like 5 foot 2 inches, like 165 centimeter, 5 foot 5, 5 foot 2, and he is like he had like low red blood cells levels, and he wanted to like make me a diet plan for him. It is Guruman already did a nutrition degree, right? At that time, I almost followed like 13 to 15 hours programs too. And he had like a nutrition specialist degree and a lot of degree in exercise, sports science and stuff. So I watched this video, and according to his height and weight and stuff, I made like a diet plan which included the foods that I told you. 165 centimeters, and he's like 52 kg, and his maintenance is around like 1400 calories, normal weight almost. Like his height wrong, it's 157 centimeters, and his weight is almost like kg, and his maintenance is around 1200 calories and 1300 calories. Well, I told him to use like less salt and only 1 tablespoon of salt per day, and like 3 tablespoons of oil per day. Don't cook his vegetables more than 5 minutes. I told him to eat for breakfast a cup of chickpeas at 8 a.m. and 10 to 11 a.m. I told him to have an apple and 15 walnuts, and uh, in lunch 1 to 2 p.m. I told him to have like a cup of spinach, lentils cooked, a katori of brown rice, and four at evening snack, half cup of pomegranate from 4 to 6 p.m. And at 7 to 9, I told him to have 2 roti with carrot and lady's finger cooked 1 cup and with some curry. That's what I told him to have. Like he was like at kind of like underweight, normal weight, in between he was there, and he was just like he was having low red blood cell count, so I gave him the diet plan.